So, I don't know about you, but I thought I'd make a quick video about something that I just experienced today, which is getting tired on the sugar diet. So now, one of the things where, especially when you're severely obese like I am, there comes a point where it's like no matter how much sugar I'm eating, no matter how much fruit I'm having, I'm still tired or I get run down or I get exhausted. So I spent maybe like half an hour going through some paperwork and just organizing some of the filing I had to do and getting my papers in order to like follow up on different things. And it exhausted me. Like I was actually exhausted. So, and like that's not unexpected, right? So basically your brain uses glucose, right? So when you have to think about stuff, when you have to make decisions, then there's a thing called decision fatigue, which is basically where your brain has used up all the glucose and basically it's more difficult to make good decisions. And so there was a really interesting study where they did some research and they found that in prisons, the board or whoever it was, the panel that basically made the decision on if somebody's granted parole or not, if the parole board met just before lunch, then typically they were almost always denied parole. And straight after lunch and like first thing in the morning is kind of when they had the highest number of like parolees granted. And so if you were in prison, like the last thing you would want to be put above in front of the parole board just before they like went to eat. And what would happen is when they would eat, then suddenly their glucose levels would get built back up and they'd make better decisions. And so it's one of the reasons why they say you should never go shopping on an empty stomach, because like if you're hungry and you're already kind of at low energy as it is, then you're not going to think straight. And I don't know about you, but like when I go shopping and I'm hungry, then I'm always over optimistic about how much I can eat and what I need to get. And then when I do get home and like finally eat something, then it's like, oh my god, like how much food did I get? And by the end of the week, probably haven't finished all of it. But that's if you go shopping without a list, right? If you've already got a list and you know exactly what you need, it doesn't apply. So anyways, I was organizing my stuff, and then suddenly I got tired. And I'm primarily bedbound, so I do spend most of my time in a bed. I'm not physically active, even just like as a sedentary person, right? Like I'm even less active than a sedentary person usually. And so, like I'm still building up like my energy levels and my strength and my capacity to move and my capacity to function. But obviously, when I get exhausted, I don't really have a choice. I'm too tired and I have to rest. So, if you'll find yourself that you're kind of, you're following the sugar diet, you're not eating fat, you're not eating protein, you're eating lots and lots of fruit, and you need to do something and you need to concentrate, you need to focus, but you just don't have the energy, well, there's a few different things that you can do. So first and foremost, like acknowledge the fact that you have used up your glucose stores. Because if you get tired or you're fatigued, then usually the energy that your body was using as fuel is no longer available in that moment, right? And so, all the keto people out there be like, oh, but then your body can start burning fat. And yes, that's all well and good. But if you're following the sugar diet, then you probably want to maintain high levels of glucose as a fuel source for the brain and for your body to kind of, burn the fat cells and fatten the cells and just be healthy, right? So anyways, if you're following the sugar diet and you want to kind of deal with that, so first off, like one option is to just rest, which in my case, I kind of had to, like I didn't really have a choice in the matter. And then also like have more fruit, have more sugar, have more fuel, right? More glucose or honey, maple syrup. Like you might need a more concentrated source of fuel in that moment. When you like, I've had moments when I crash completely and then like I literally go gaga, like as in I can't talk coherent sentences. Like my brain's all gone to mush. I can't really articulate myself, and I'm conscious and I'm aware, but like I can't express myself or talk. And so in order to fix that, I normally have like a spoon of honey, maybe 2 spoons of honey, a few pieces of chocolate, because I need some instant sugar, and then that fixes it, and then the problem's cleared. Now that's a very extreme case of a sugar low, and that was probably more in my past when I was eating fat in my diet as well, and so the fat might have had an implication or consequence on that. If you've cut the fat out completely from your diet and you experience an energy low, then you're probably needing to top up your levels. And so if you haven't succeeded with, having more fruit, having more sugar, having more concentrated forms of sugar, honey, maple syrup, agave, spoonfuls of sugar and water, whatever it is that works for you, then the next thing to consider is maybe you need some starch, right? And I get it, like people are obsessed with losing weight as fast as they can, but also like if you need to function, if you need to do a job, if you need to work to concentrate, if you're anything like I am in terms of severely overweight, you might find it hard just on fruit. At least I have, and I'm still adjusting. It's been about a month now that I've been eating this particular way, but I haven't been eating as much fruit as I have started like in the last few days since I really kind of understood the benefits of having a lot more sugar in my diet and a lot more fruit in my diet. But so I kind of default to starches, so either potato or rice. I find when I eat those, then I can concentrate better. So if I don't eat them, then like I get very like I want to say like spaced out more than anything, right? It's like I get very lightheaded, but it's not lightheaded so much as like I can't concentrate. Like I it's like I get very creative. Like I have a lot of creative potential. If I had to do something creative, then maybe like that would work really well. But because I'm trying to do like, logical stuff, structured stuff, right? Like I need to work through some accounts. I need to like go through some emails. I need to respond to some things. So like I need to be able to concentrate. I need to be able to focus. I need to be able to do things in a linear and a logical manner. And I find that with just fruit and just sugars, like I feel really good. I love how I feel, but I can't concentrate for heck. Like my brain is all over the place. And so I find that when I eat some rice, when I eat some potato, I eat some starch, again, without fat completely, and just like, I have it usually either boiled rice or boiled potatoes or grilled potatoes or like, some version of that cooked potato. And I'll typically have maybe some vegetables or some lentils with it or some beans. Beans typically go well with the potatoes, like baked beans with the potatoes, or like a vegetable curry with the rice, or like a lentil curry with the rice. So then that works really well for me. And so, test it for yourself. What works for you, right? So if you need it, take more sugar, get more fruit into you, get more sugar into you, get more fuel into you. Like I've ordered some what's it called, maple honey, maple syrup, that's it. So I've ordered some maple syrup because I want to be able to just like swig some maple syrup if I need some extra honey, if I want to like see is that going to help me with alertness and thinking clearly and stuff. Because right now, like I have honey, like I have some raw unpasteurized honey, and I'll put like spoonfuls of it on rice crackers, and I'll have maybe 5 or 6 rice crackers with the honey on it, because I think just having the honey on its own is probably not going to help me in the way that I need to, because also like the other consideration, this may not apply if you don't have much weight to lose, right? And so when I say not much weight to lose, like I have over 100 kg to lose, right? So like 100 kg, I don't know what that is in pounds. Hang on. I lost about 10 kg in a month, and that was 22 pounds. So 100 kg is probably 220 pounds. Okay, so 220 pounds of weight. That's how much I have to lose, at least, right? Because I was over 200 kg. I'm now like 190.5, I think it was last time I weighed myself. I'll weigh myself on Sunday, so that's in 2 days' time. So I try to keep it to the same day of the week, so that at least there's kind of a full 7 days between weighing periods. But yeah, like I've been eating rice, potatoes, starches throughout the last month and a half, and I have been losing weight every single week. The first week I lost almost 4 kg, so that's probably like 8 or 9 pounds, which I think is pretty decent. But then I kind of stalled after the second week, because in the third week I then had some fats, like some fried chips, some fish, which like for me, I'm following an approach of zero fat as much as possible. And the thing is, if I have a hissy fit, if I feel like having something, I'm not going to stop myself. I'm like, you know what, if I'm craving it, or even if I just fancy it, I'm like, you know what, do I want it? And then it's like, well, do I want to lose the weight more or do I want to eat this more? And then it's like, I have a choice because, like, I'll just pick back up on it and kind of carry on. And at the time, I did actually want to test. I was like, okay, 2 weeks, I've lost weight every week consistently. What would happen if I just ate some fat? How much would it affect? How much would it stall? And so I did try that and it did happen. So, like, I wouldn't recommend eating fat at all. And ideally, if you can, cut out the meat completely, at least until you get to the ideal body weight or you've achieved the results you want to achieve. And so, like, if you need it, you may need to introduce some starch to like help with like having energy, because I'm a really big guy, right? I have a lot of body mass to move, and especially as I'm not physically mobile, and especially as I have disabilities and various other illnesses and whatnot, like I have challenges as it is moving around. So, I kind of have to factor all of that into it as well. And it's like, well, if I get too tired to move and I need to go to the toilet, then I'm in trouble, right? Like, you need enough strength to be able to stand up and get to the toilet. And I don't always have that strength, right? So then I need to make sure I've eaten enough so that I do have that strength, so that then if I need to move, I'm able to. And sometimes, no matter how much I want to move, I just don't have the energy for it. And I've experienced that plenty of times. And I'm like, oh, but like I've eaten so much and I'm so full. And it's like, but no, like I clearly haven't eaten the right things. I clearly haven't eaten enough of the right stuff because I'm still tired, right? So let's see if bringing in concentrated dark maple syrup, and adding that to the spoonfuls of honey and adding that to like all the fruit, all the lovely, lovely fruit I'm eating, helps. But yeah, try a bit of rice, try a bit of potato. Like the thing is, and this is probably the biggest advice I can give to anybody following the sugar diet, right? Sugar fasting, sugar diet, whatever approach you're using, right? Go with how you feel, right? Forget everything else for a moment. Like the first criteria for success, do you feel good? Right? Do you feel tired? Do you feel exhausted? Do you feel elated? Do you feel animated? Do you feel full of energy? Do you feel full of a zest for life? I'm definitely feeling like uplifted, like mentally. I'm like so happy, and like I have a lot more energy to be able to make these videos, because trust me, like even 2 months ago, like there's no way I'd be able to make this many YouTube videos this quickly. And I'm literally uploading them as I make them, because otherwise, like if I have to edit them and stuff, like they're just not gonna happen. But like I've been making these videos and you'll be able to see, like, I mean, I've been making videos for quite a few weeks now, so you can see how my energy changes and like how I am as a person. So like right now, for example, I'm sitting up just because I was like, I don't want to be lying down right now. Like, honestly, sometimes I get so fed up of just having to lay all the time, even though I need that to rest for my body. But I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to push myself a little bit. I'm just going to sit up for a little bit and make this video. So, but then after I do this, I'm going to have to go lay down again and, probably take half an hour to recover. But that's okay, right? I've got my maple syrup coming this evening. Let's see what a difference that makes. So, in summary, if you are feeling low on the sugar diet, start by adding more sugar, right? Add more sugar, take tablespoons of sugar. I know there is a part of me that is literally horrified at the thought of that, because like I grew up and, since like 2004, I've had it drummed into me. White refined sugar, white refined flour, that's what causes you to get fat, that's what causes you to get ill. Don't know about the white refined flour part. Like, for now, I'll just white refined sugar. Okay, maybe I got it wrong. Maybe I shouldn't have demonized it so much like everybody else was saying. And maybe it's not the fault of the sugar that the fat has been stopping the glucose from leaving the bloodstream. But I'll talk Randall cycles and, fat and sugar competing to get into the cell another time. Let's just say we're all on board, right? Because we made that decision that we want to do the fat sugar. We want to lose the fat by eating sugar, right? So none of the haters on that regard. Because if you listen this far, then obviously you want to lose the weight and you want to do it with the sugar diet, because let's be honest, it does feel good, right? And I've done paleo, like 8 months of paleo, and I do know what the difference is in feeling. And right now, like the more sugar I eat, the more fruit I'm eating, the more energy I'm seeing happen in my body. And because it's been so long since I've been moving around and so long, I have so much fat to lose, it probably will take a bit longer for me to kind of find my balance of how much sugar to have, how much fruit to eat, how much of like what fruits I need to be eating to get me enough fuel, the fiber, the sugar, all of that stuff. And I haven't even started putting heaps heaped spoons of sugar into my water. But that's where I'm like, I like honey. I do honey with my lemon water first first thing in the morning. Okay, now my words are getting all sort of tongue and twist tied. Okay, so that's probably a good sign. I probably should stop now. But yeah, just add sugar, add honey, add maple syrup, have some raw sugar if you need, chocolate if you have two candies, whatever you need. And if that fruit and all of that stuff doesn't help, and you still need something to help you concentrate, give you a bit more energy, give you a bit more fuel to kind of be feeling like yourself, then consider adding in some starch and just use that starch so that then you can rebuild your glycogen stores. Like the liver loves potatoes, bananas, even like ripe bananas. Make sure you eat them when they're ripe. Make sure they've got some brown specks on them. Don't eat them when they're completely green if you can avoid it, because then the riper the bananas are, the more sugars are in them that your body can then use as fuel. So, the riper the banana, the better the sugars that you're getting in. But yeah, like try to just support yourself with as much as you can of the sugars. And if the sugars aren't doing it for you, bring in some starch, get some fuel into you. Because again, as long as you're not introducing fat, as long as fat is completely off the table, those sugars are going to go in, that starch is going to go in, and it's going to get used as a fuel. It's going to get used for energy. It's going to rebuild your glycogen stores. It's going to rebuild your the stores in your muscle. It's going to, like runners, they use carbohydrates to fuel, right, before doing like day-long ultra marathon runs and whatnot, right? So what are they eating? They're eating rice, they're eating potatoes, they're eating starches, right, in order to give their body some fuel to make it through the run, right, through all that activity they're doing. And so it's possible that, like, you've done as much activity as you can and you need some starch to kind of, support you through the rest of it. So anyways, those are my thoughts. I thought it was going to be a quick 5-minute video, but turns out it's almost 15 minutes. So thank you. I appreciate you taking the time to listen, to watch, to get to the end. If you have gotten to the end, leave a comment below. Do you have any tips or suggestions on what to do when you feel a bit low on the sugar diet? Have you tried adding in starch or cutting out starch and seeing what difference it makes? The more we can share the experiences that are working for us, the more we can actively learn together as a community, because I'm just sharing what's working for me and what I'm finding is working as a strategy, because I literally go as much as I can of the day on just fruit, and then I literally just have like one portion, usually around 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, of some rice or lentils or vegetables or whatever it is, or combination of rice with vegetables. And like I always have like a green leafy salad and try to start my meals with that to help blunt the insulin spikes of the rice and things like that. But like if I don't have it, then I really do notice it. Like if I, like at the moment, like I haven't been able to do an all fruit day just because it's like, uh, I'm still hungry. I still have an appetite, and I haven't been sugar loading. I haven't been like putting loads of honey and syrup and sugar and everything onto everything yet. So, maybe that's something to experiment with or test with a little further down the line. For now, what I have been doing has been working consistently for over a month now. And so I'm going to keep doing it, and I'm going to keep refining and tweaking and testing. But yeah, definitely, like when I don't eat the potatoes or starch or rice or whatever it is, then I do feel the lack of that causing me to be a bit more tired than usual. But I am really, really big. Like I'm a large person, right? Like I'm really fat, like really fat. Right? So unless you're really fat and you have a lot of weight to move, maybe if you're already really physically active, you might be okay with just running on pure sugar. Don't know, don't care. Just figure out what works and let's just lose the weight. And then, when I get really slim, I'll test it out and see if there's a difference then compared to how I felt now. But at least I've got this recorded, so I'll be able to look back on the experience and be like, I couldn't get by on just fruit when I was that heavy, but now I can. Or maybe it's the other way around. I just need to figure out which fruits to eat. I'll just keep testing and trying, and I'll share what works. Until then, make sure you keep yourself satiated and filled and have an amazing day. Thank you so much for being on this journey. I do appreciate all the comments, all the likes, any of you that have decided to follow and subscribe. Like, I do appreciate every last one of you. Because I know that time is precious, and so when we spend it with those people that inspire us, entertain us, or educate us, then it's both a gift to them as well as to ourselves. So I hope you all receive my love, appreciation, and gratitude. And I look forward to seeing you again in my next video. Bye for now.